Alright, everyone. I am back with part two of this review, the story review, and analysis. So let's go ahead and continue. So, last I was saying, this is a part of a shared universe. The introduction of the story. The worlds were once in harmony and everything. They all lived in harmony. Everything was peaceful, and all of a sudden, something happened, and now we have corruption and stuff across the universe. So obviously, something happened. So this is part of a shared. This is going to be the start. This is the start of a shared universe, and everything. And this is the foundation. This particular story, is the foundation of that universe. So now the whole shared universe concept, of course, is nothing new. It's been done before, even before Marvel. So back in the days of the monsters, back in the days of like Dracula, I'm talking about the classic '50s Dracula and Frankenstein, all that stuff. There were crossovers and like I said, crossovers and guest starring and shared universe and crossovers and stuff all the way back, even at that time. And they were the first to do it. It was Universal actually, property and characters that was doing it. So they invented the shared universe concept, crossovers, and everything else. So where Frankenstein meets Dracula, etc. So the shared universe, whole concept of the shared universe is actually nothing new. It didn't start with Marvel. It goes all the way back to the '50s with the classic horror movies, like once again Frankenstein, Dracula, etc. So those characters and those were Universal properties as well. So so the whole shared universe concept in this case is being done. Let's say Marvel, of course, obviously they're doing it and they're very successful at it, and of course DC, who's they're doing it as well, but they're kind of struggling a little bit with it. But but hopefully maybe they'll come around, maybe. So and now we have Extraordinary, this new up and coming company, Extraordinary. They're trying at it, and this is their foundation story. This particular story is the foundation. So so as we continue on, I say once again we see that in this story we see that the brothers, the Power Brothers or Star Brothers in this case, they doing their regular stuff. Like I said, they going to school, they doing things on this world. So it is this world, obviously, like I said, Planet North Star. It orbits two suns, two suns. It has rings and it has 8 moons. So and it's in the Milky Way galaxy. It is actually 5 light years away from Earth. So I didn't mention, so it's 5 light years away from Earth, and it's in the same galaxy and everything, as I mentioned. So we see them, like I said, somehow humans coexist with these aliens. The beings there are called Zars. So so Northians, they can be called Northians. Anybody who lives on planet North Star is a Northian, but the actual race of beings that live on this planet are called Zars. So and as you can see, they're very different. So, but the whole idea that humans coexist with these aliens, that's another story with itself. We don't know how, or how it is, but this story doesn't tell us. So, but they do have shopping malls and stuff here, as we can see. So why is this world so corrupted? So again, we have these two boys. They start off, their lives start off normal, basically, and all of a sudden, later on in the story, they take a field trip, basically, and they end up getting superpowers, basically, as we're going to get to here later in a minute. So right now they see us here. They're in school. Say they're learning things. They're learning advanced stuff, basically Northern stuff, Northern basically technology, Northern education, basically currency, everything they're being taught, everything that they can be taught in school. And what kind of school is it? It's actually not called school. They actually, believe it or not, they don't call it school. They call it class on this world. So school is not actually called school. It's called class on this world. So and then like I said, these friends. So you have their friends here. So of course they have Zazer, their friends Dan, Lisa, Suzanne, Ruth, and Thar. So the Thar is a Czar. So of course everybody else here in this group is human. So so and they're all in class right now. But they take a field trip, as once again I've said, where things take a turn. So as we see here, they take a trip off of the planet. They go into the Eric's moon. So they actually take a field trip to the moon, and this is where things take a turn around. They're having fun on the moon and everything. So Silent Day lives are pretty normal. So then we have this villain called the Parrot. He called himself the Parrot. Actually, and so I say they haven't officially got these superpowers yet. So, but we have this villain that calls himself the Parrot, who's in the process of organizing a global takeover. He's already like organizing a takeover. He plans to overthrow the planet head, the planet ruler, King Carius. So King Carius is the planet head. This world, actually, by the way, is ruled by a planet head. It's not ruled by individual governments. I mean, there are governments and presidents over other nations. I mean, there's other nations on this world, on this planet. There are other nations, there are cities, but they are all run by, like I said, King Carius. So King Carius is this global monarch. Basically, he's the global monarch of this world. So he is the king of this world, of this planet, basically, and it's ruled by him. All the governments answer to him. Basically, they run to him. So, and the Parrot is this villain called himself the Parrot, Coral Parrot, actually, his full name. He is in the process of organizing a takeover, a global takeover of this world, basically. So he sees his plans to overthrow King Carius and everything to take over this world, this planet. So as we see here, we see that the boys and the brothers and their friends, they're out on a field trip. All of a sudden, they come on their way back from the field trip. Something goes wrong, and then they get hit by a supernova. Actually, they get caught in a supernova on their way back. So on their way back from the field trip, back from the Eris Moon, on the way back to North Star, they get caught in a supernova, and then instantly they gain superpowers. So, but they don't know about it right away. So they get superpowers by getting caught in the supernova, and then ditto, and bam, they have superpowers already. They're superheroes. So, and right on time, actually. So the gang, so back to the Parrot, back to the villain of the story, the Parrot. So he is actually leading a gang of rebels call themselves the POA. The POA is power over all. So, and he is actually joining forces with the Tauranians, which are longtime enemies of King Carius and the Debrians. The Debrians are King Carius's soldiers. That's his men. So are his troops, his soldiers, the ones on his side. Basically, obviously, you know, the nation of Deborah soldiers against the Tauranians, the nation of Tauran soldiers, basically longtime enemies for centuries or for years, basically. So, or in this case, for years or centuries, how long they've been going on, basically. So the POA, power over all, that's the Parrot's crew. He's leading this militia and attack against King Carius. So to overthrow King Carius, so to take over the world, the planet. So and then we have like I say, various cameos, of course. So the Galactic Crusaders, like I say, they're mentioned here. So who are they? We don't know. The story doesn't tell us. So, but there's, like I said, there's several hints to future things that's going to be taking place later on that we're going to see later in later stories. So, and then we have here a prophet character named Petra. So Petra is obviously a prophet character here. So, and he's King Carius is sent for this prophet and Petra, and he tells him that the Lord has said to him concerning a dilemma, basically. So, and he's telling him what's going on, what's getting ready to happen. Hey, you know, the Parrot is getting ready to overthrow you. He's getting ready to wage war against you and your men, and you need to be ready. But then he's telling them that these two young boys are going to overcome the attack. They will help you overcome the attack. So, or he's going to overcome the attack by the help of two young boys. Obviously, talking about the brothers, but you know, King Carius doesn't know that. He don't know who these two boys are. So, but the prophet is telling him that he's going to that the Parrot's going to attack him, and he's going to win. Basically, he's not going to prevent the Parrot will not prevail against him. He will not overcome him, but instead the two boys are going to stop the Parrot, basically, and they're going to stop him. So his prophet character Petra. So that just goes to show you that this is part of a plan. Like I say, this whole it's kind of setting up the tone of what kind of universe this is going to be already. So we have prophet characters and stuff already. So, And then so going back to the boys, going back to the brothers basically. So they get their superpowers, and now their mom and dad finds out that they have superpowers, and they end up instantly start coming up with plans on how they're going to help people and change the world now. So at first they don't tell their mom everything, or they don't tell their dad basically, but then they end up finding out, and then let's say a few days later they end up finding out that they have superpowers, So as you see here, they sneak out the house and everything, and they go fly around the city. So because that's how their powers. At first they don't tell their mom, and their mom don't know about they have at this point don't have some powers yet, basically. So then they flew to say going downtown and everything, testing out their powers. They have no idea what their powers can do at this point. So but they instantly, or the first thing they come to their mind, the first thing they think about is actually, oh, we can change the world, we can help people, we can help change the world, make the world a better place, make this world a better place. So, and then when they fly out and do their rendezvous, when they sneak out the house, do their rendezvous, they find out about the parrot's plan, basically. So they find out about his plan, so about Parrot's plan, and his plan to take over and raise the Northern Palace to overthrow the King Carius, and that's when they decide that they want to get involved and try to stop that plan or stop him. So continuing on, so they go back home, basically they go back to school. They meet with their friends and everything. So and they find out they all have superpowers, and then they go back home. Basically, long story short, they go back home. Their mom finds out they have superpowers. They have these superpowers and everything. Their mom lectures them and everything, and tell them that they need to be careful with their powers because they might be dangerous. So of course, but then they tell their mom and everything, it's okay. We're going to use these powers to help people and change the world and make this world a better place. So and everything else. So as it goes on to chapter 3, so and then they come up with that, they superhero names and everything, not officially yet. So but there's already costumes, everything. So while all at the same time, they're still doing their homework and still doing regular things and everything. So obviously they're young, so they're not teenagers, nothing like that. They're not like high school or anything. I think they're actually young kids. They come off as being like maybe young kids, I think. So like just below the teens. So because they had to get permission from their mom and everything as well. So and they found out about the parrot's plan. Basically after their mom they have superpowers, and they tell their mom what the plan is, what they plan on doing. They tell their mom that the parrot's plan, basically. They tell their mom about the parrot and what he's planning on doing, and then their mom agrees to allow them to go out and try to stop the parrot, basically. So as it goes on, so here now we have the parrot raiding the Northern Palace. So he raids the Northern Palace, basically. He's attacking the soldiers, attacking the Deverans. So the Deveran crew, the men. So and he goes on in his attempt to overthrow King Carius. So and while he does that, the brothers, Powerman and Ultimateman, or who are Romeo and Libra, still, because they haven't officially received their names yet, them and their friends actually, they jump in and fight off the parrot, and they stop him. So and as a result, the parrot is sent to trial. He's caught and he's sent to trial. He has a trial and everything. He's getting ready to be imprisoned on the Return Moon. Return Moon is a prison moon that's actually far from our star, so it's orbiting some rogue planet. So Return Moon is actually a moon that's orbiting a rogue planet that's in the same solar system as North Star, but it's far away from it. So the parrot is facing trial now. He's facing charges. So and he's getting ready to be sent away for treason against King Carius. So to Return Moon, and then of course we know he escapes because it's his helper, Commando Tarly, the Tauranians. Commando Tarly, actually in this case, the leader of the Tauranians, come to his rescue and help him escape, basically, from being sent away to prison. So I'm gonna end this part right here. I will continue this, pick back up in part 3. So just stay with me, and I'll be back with part 3.